Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video of mine. Today I'm going to tell you how you can literally travel the world with almost no money. And it's not fake. I've been traveling the world for nearly my whole lifetime, and I have very good tips on how to save money while traveling, or just even if you're broke, how you can still travel. So let's get into that. For everyone who doesn't know me yet, my name is Emily and I've been traveling the world for almost my entire life. Growing up in Germany made it fairly easy for me to start traveling at a really young age. When I turned 18 though, I decided I needed a bit more. So I moved out and flew all the way to the other side of the world, Australia. I afforded that completely on my own. So in this video I will share with you how you can do the same. And if you want to know how you can stay at resorts and hotels for free, stay till the end, because I'm going to talk about how content creators basically travel the world for free. And guys, traveling is literally the most liberating thing I've ever done. So fill your life with adventures, not things. Have stories to tell and not stuff to show.
You mean bread and butterflies?
Oh yes, of course.
My first tip is to work, and in return you get to travel. So when I say work, I don't mean working 9 to 5 in an office to save enough money and then you can go traveling. It's more like you travel to a beautiful place and you work there, and in return you get accommodation, food provided, and you get to see the beautiful place. So there are a couple of options you have with that. So you can either do woofing, which is basically that you work for anyone really, and you get accommodation and food in return. So that is really big here in Australia. So you can stay anywhere really. There are a lot of websites that show like different opportunities, but you can yeah, help out anywhere. Sometimes you can even help out in like a puppy breeding facility, and you basically help them, or you rescue kangaroos or whatever. You help them, and in return you get accommodation and food for free. And I mean, Australia is amazing, so who wouldn't like to see a bit more of that? They also have quite a lot of things like that in Asia, just like anywhere in the world. So just yeah, have a look through a couple of websites. I'll link them all below, and see where you would like to go. Another option for the work thing is basically to do an internship. So internships, it depends where you go really, but I'm living next to the Great Barrier Reef at the moment, and a friend of mine is actually doing an internship at the scuba diving team. So he basically gets his scuba diving like license, and he gets food and accommodation provided, and he has to like basically help them out with like all the scuba diving tours they're doing, but he literally gets to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef every single day. So why not do that? I mean, that wouldn't be too bad. Another option for like the working thing would be to do au pair. So au pair basically means that you're living with a family and you work for them. So you're basically looking after their children, and in return you get food and accommodation for free, and you usually get a good amount of pocket money on top of that. And you have weekends off sometimes you can even ask for whole weeks off. So if you get a family in a really nice location, you can literally work for them during the week, which is not like work, you're just looking after their kids, and then save the pocket money you're getting and go and explore on the weekends, and yeah, on your weeks off basically. That's what I'm doing right now, and it's definitely not a bad choice. Let's get to my second tip, friends. So yeah, obviously when you're traveling you need accommodation, duh. So how can you save money with your accommodation? So there are a couple of tips as well I have for you. And tip number one would just be to stay in hostels. Quite a lot of people are really scared of hostels, and I can tell you one thing, hostels are really not that bad. Like I love hostels. You nearly always have a fun time. They might not be like the most hygienic, but if you want to travel for free, you can't really expect that. It's almost always a fun time, and it's super cheap, especially in Asia. Maybe not in Australia where you pay $30 for a hostel per night. Wow, but it can get really cheap, especially in Asia. I stayed in Asia in hostels for like $2 a night. You literally like, oh, okay, what is gonna come there? Am I gonna get raped or what's gonna happen? Nah, it's all good. I can tell you, I'm sorry, it's all good. Then the next option for cheap accommodation is staying in Airbnbs. And when I say that, I mean stay in Airbnbs with friends or just with like a group of people. And I can like, it makes accommodation so much cheaper. It's so much cheaper to share an Airbnb instead of just staying in a hotel, so definitely do that. Number 3 is couchsurfing. So maybe not everyone knows what couchsurfing is, but couchsurfing basically is staying in other people's places for free and doing nothing in return, which is absolutely amazing. Well, why would people do that? They're just nice people out there. They are out there. Maybe you don't think so, but there are still nice people out there. They have a lot of money, maybe feel a bit lonely, so they basically offer their bed in their flat or a couch or whatever for travelers to sleep on for a couple nights. I had a friend of mine and she literally had the most amazing couchsurfing host in Sydney. She stayed in Sydney for free for like 6 weeks or something, like central, and she just found him on one of like the websites where you can find like people you can stay with. So that is definitely an option, which could be a bit creepy, but if you find a website with yeah, a couple different options and they have reliable reviews, then why not? I tried it before and nothing went wrong, so maybe try that out. And my last tip for that is to look on Hotwire. So this is not sponsored, I don't want to sell you anything, but Hotwire is basically a website where you or where they put up hotel deals every single day. And what the thing is, hotels, so when it's like a really big resort, obviously their name is like a big brand, so even if they don't have the whole hotel booked out, they can't really lower the price that much because it would like ruin the name of their brand. So what Hotwire is doing, every single day you basically have the option to book this like secret hotel, and those secret hotels are like really good brands, like really big and nice resorts, and they offer deals like 60, 70, 80% off. I link you a video below. Shelby Church basically explains how you can find out what that secret resort is. So all you get is the location and like all the reviews and stuff, but there is a way of like finding out what resort it actually is, so you can do that. I tried it before twice and I saved so much money doing it, and I stayed in the most amazing resort. That definitely try that out. My third tip is going to be about the flight. So obviously if you want to travel anywhere, you basically need to fly or get there somehow. So when it comes to the flights, I personally like to book with Skyscanner or Google Flights, and you can get some ridiculous cheap deals on there, which is not always the best because obviously flying is not the most environmentally friendly. So you can fly for like $15, which I don't even get how that's even possible. So you can get some really cheap flights if you look up front, if you look at all the big airports which are around you, and then you can just basically check what dates they have, if any like specific dates are really cheap. I know that if you fly when it's like Friday the 13th, like public holiday like Christmas, New Year's or anything, usually you can get some really cheap flights, so definitely look into that. And then also if you're in Asia or anywhere really, you can take like overnight buses, overnight trains, and they are so cheap. Like they're not the most luxury obviously, but you can get around for very cheap. And also, because I'm like talking about the whole how to backpack Australia thing, if you're in Australia, just buy a car. You can get cars here for like $2,000, which are good, and then you can just travel around with your car, and if you're lucky you can even sell your car for more than you bought it. So there are always a lot of ways to like travel around for cheap. You just have to know what you're looking for, and if you're looking for flights, start looking early, or sometimes you can get some really good last minute deals, but that's a whole other thing. And last but not least, you can become a travel influencer. So when I'm saying that, I not talking that you need 100,000 followers to get hotels or anything sponsored. You literally don't, like, I know people with 500 followers that got like a collaboration with a hotel, so they could stay at the hotel for free, and in return they created content. So that's basically what a travel influencer is doing. You're basically doing content creation for the place you're staying at, and you're promoting the place. So you don't need a lot of followers for that. It always depends on your niche. So if you have a good niche, for example, I'm doing mainly work and travel, so like working holiday in Australia. So a lot of my, like 90% of my community follows me because they are interested in how to travel Australia. So for example, I don't have that many followers, and I can text companies or hotels and resorts here and say, listen, I'm here, a lot of people are interested in coming to Australia, would you like to offer me anything? And then I got offered with Sunday trips where I literally saved $1,000, sailing around the Whitsundays for free and stuff like that. And I really don't want to like brag and say like I'm so cool. I'm just saying I don't have many followers. I have 6,000 followers on Instagram, and I think 3,000 something here on YouTube. And I also know people that got sponsorships or just collaborations with hotels with not even 1,000 followers. So yeah, just text hotels and let them know what you're doing, that you would like to create content for them, and ask them if you can stay at their hotel for free. So that's another way of how to travel for free, which is actually really, really good. It's just yeah, not really that well known, and you kind of have to know like how to approach the hotels and all that stuff. So if you're interested in that, give me a thumbs up, so that video is gonna come up next. But yeah, that was another tip of how to travel the world for free. Well friends, that was it. I hope you enjoyed my traveling tips, and if you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below if you have any questions or if you have any tips on how to travel for free, and I see you in the next video. Bye!